So we now turn our attention to the first of two DD2 Masters races here at Muelsen, and your grid is as follows. On the front row will be the 507 of FM Racing's Timo Haug, and alongside will be RS Competition's 508 in the form of Konrad Bayer. Dennis Thum and Marco Winkler in the 544 and the 566 round out row 2, ahead of Andreas Frenzel and Stefan Krabau in the 503 and the 555. Daniel Schollenberger and Klaus Barnett in the 522 and the 502. That's row number 4. Falco Bergholz in the 520 and Tanju Yildiz are meant to be on row 5, but Yildiz is starting from the beginning of the pre-grid, being late, joining the rest of the 11-strong grid, as Daniel Schultz will start in 10th position, and as soon as the drivers are allowed to race, then Tanju Yildiz will be released. 14 minutes on the clock, plus an additional lap. And the rain over the lunch break has intensified. So having a track that was consistently evolving into a very, very fast circuit, now the balance has been kind of restored here, as it will be down to Timo Haug and Konrad Bayer to control the 2x2 rolling start formation. So for the first time this afternoon, the red lights are ignited on the starting gantry. The drivers now make their way up towards the penultimate right-hander of the circuit. And someone is eager to get going in the pre-grid. I can hear an engine revving down here. But it is Timo Haug and Konrad Bayer that will go into the tram lines and lead the field down towards the start-finish line. Revs rise. Lights are out. We go racing. And my goodness, Dennis Thum gets mugged off the start by Konrad Bayer as Tanju Yildiz now gets released as they filter their way through turns 2 and 3 for the first time. As Bayer down to 4th position. But in the meantime, the 566 of Marco Winkler now trying to go for the lead into turn 5. But can't have... Oh, and there's been a turnaround. Oh, there's been a turnaround. And that looks to be, I think, probably Dennis Thum and Konrad Bayer that might have come together there. That is the 544. Now gets back in the car, puts the accelerator down and starts getting away. As Bayer now down into 5th position. But the two leaders starting to mount a breakaway. So two drivers trying to get away from the rest of the field. The treacherous conditions still catching some of the drivers out. And in 2nd position. So there has been a significant change up and down the order. So now Dennis Thum, who was on the front, who was up into 2nd position by turn 2, now finds himself down at the bottom of the field. Timo Haug leads. Marco Winkler now in 2nd position ahead of Andreas Frenzel, Stefan Krabau and Konrad Bayer. Klaus Barnett and Daniel Schollenberger now complete the top 7 positions. Yildiz up to 8th now ahead of Bergholz, Schultz and... Oh, and yeah, Tanju, thank you very much to one of our timekeepers for noticing, pointing to me that Tanju Yildiz has had a spin around at turn 2, as we've had a 5-second penalty being issued to Daniel Schollenberger. So just over 12 minutes to go, plus an additional lap. So still, as the some of the drivers, oh, that was very, very close for Andreas Frenzel, who goes sideways through the chicane, as Konrad Bayer trying to go round towards the outside of the penultimate corner, but gets compromised as, oh, there was a spin around. And I think that might have been possibly Stefan Krabau that just went spinning up the inside, trying to put the power down through the penultimate corner. And Konrad Bayer was blindsided, had absolutely nowhere to go. So Krabal drops to 7th position as a result of that slight coming together. As Andreas Frenzel looks to be up into 2nd position, but the gap was about half a second coming across the start-finish line between 1st and 2nd position. But looks to be extending. As Daniel Schollenberger looks to have gotten ahead of Konrad Bayer. And both he and Schollenberger now go a bit wide, using the wider line coming through the corner that puts them onto the back part of the circuit. So Falco Bilkords also has gone down now to the last position. 11th place at the minute. As someone's off into the gravel and Konrad Bayer spins around at the very same time. And that is the 5.02 of Klaus Barnett, who is beached in the gravel. But Konrad Bayer keeps on circulating. So Winkler leads by 3.4 seconds and ahead of Andreas Frenzel. Timo Haug, Daniel Schollenberger, Dennis Thum, Stefan Krabal, Konrad Bayer now dropping down to 7th position. As Klaus Barnett's race has just ended quite suddenly. So double waved yellows at the penultimate corner. So Barnett was trying to go towards the outside of the corner, ran wide and hit the gravel, and all 4 tyres got well and truly beached. So yellow flags were waved as now Klaus Barnett able to get down. So manages to get back out on the circuit. Still means that Barnett will score points, but that's going to be a lot of a tall order to try and get up, and lost a lot of ground. 9.5 minutes, or just under thereof, plus an additional lap. Winkler leads from Frenzel by 3.3 seconds. Timo Haug, who was on pole position, now down in 3rd. Daniel Schollenberger, Dennis Thum, Stefan Krabal and Konrad Bayer round out the top 7 positions. As Falco Bilkords is a confirmed retirement. And the rain is still consistently falling, so it's going to make it even more treacherous as the drivers try and circumnavigate their way around the 1,315 metre circuit. As now the blue flags are starting to be used by the marshalling team. Oh, and we've had a spin around up at the penultimate corner. Now, was that the race leader? Maybe Marco Winkler, has he? I don't think he's dropped it. No, Winkler's just crossed the line. See who comes across the line in 2nd. That's Frenzel. Haug in 3rd. And that was Schollenberger and Thum going side by side across the start-finish line. I think that might have been Thum that's got up the inside. Well, it was Schollenberger, so that was having to defend quite quickly. And Schollenberger was trying to defend the position, as Tanju Yildiz now yielding and letting the other drivers get past. So Klaus Barnett still running and in 10th position at the moment, as the 5.24 of Daniel Schultz's car sounded a bit off there from the engine. Leader comes across the line, so Winkler's still leading. As there has been a change, as Dennis Thum has just got past Timo Haug for 3rd position. Looks like Tanju Yildiz has pulled into the pits. So that might be his race done and dusted. Down to 9 competitors we go here in the first of 2 DD2 Masters races here at Muelsen today. As Dennis Thum and Timo Haug still battling away. Haug trying to close. 6.5 minutes remaining on the clock, still to go, plus an additional lap. But Winkler just has to keep going to ensure a commanding lead, and the lead thus far is 3.857 seconds. As the leader now comes around the final corner to complete lap number 7, as we've had more dramas off of the penultimate corner, there is quite a lot of standing water starting to show, well, rear its ugly head on the circuit. As now, that was Andreas Frenzel that went off, as Timo Haug and Dennis Thum have now gone past in second and third position. Schollenberger, Frenzel, Grabau, Konrad Bayer crosses the line in 7th still. Klaus Panner is still circulating in 9th position, but is a lap off of the leaders. As Dennis Thum, looks like Timo Haug battling away. That is for 2nd and 3rd position on the road, and they've got a kart just behind, and I've got a feeling that might be Daniel Schollenberger. And Schollenberger was about 9/10 of a second behind Dennis Thum on the last lap before Thum took Haug for 2nd position. And the 5:24 of Daniel Schultz, that kart not sounding healthy, not at full racing speed. But Dennis Thum now 6.372 seconds behind Winkler, who continues to lead, now onto lap number 9. Timo Haug a further 1.4 seconds adrift in 3rd position. And Daniel Schollenberger in the 5:22, trying to close up for 3rd position. 4.5 minutes still remaining, as it looks like Daniel Schultz is looking to just get to the end of the race and is allowing the remainder of the field to just get past. As now Schollenberger still trying to battle away with the 5:07 of Timo Haug from FM Racing. As now, towards the outside of Timo Haug, tries to go Daniel Schollenberger for 3rd position, takes a wider line through turns 2 and 3, gets a good run of momentum, tries to pull alongside the 5:07 coming through the left-hand kink, goes to the right, then goes to the left, in towards the inside the line of the corner, but Haug still able to keep in front. Now down into the infield straightaway. But Haug still has the measure of Schollenberger at this particular moment in time. As now Schollenberger looking a bit more towards the inside through the final chicane on the circuit, with both drivers bumping their way over the curbs. So 2 confirmed retirements. Tanju Yildiz on lap 4. Fabio Bielkords unfortunately retiring on the very first lap, as both Winkler and Thum are still 1st and 2nd respectively. Timo Haug now has nearly a half a second gap over Daniel Schollenberger. Frenzel in 5th place, ahead of Stefan Grabau. Klaus Panner is still in 8th position as Konrad Bayer now crosses the line in 7th position. So 1st and 2nd positions still pretty much as they were, but it is the battle between Haug and Schollenberger, with the rain still falling. And the battle for 3rd position isn't over yet, because Schollenberger looks a bit quicker coming out of the double right-hander after the infield section to try and close up. But then Haug is just able to power away as they go into the penultimate right-hander. But it just depends on whether Daniel Schollenberger can get the run of momentum through the final right-hander. Onto the start-finish straight. Less than 90 seconds on the clock, plus an additional lap still to go. This time Schollenberger really closed up quick on Timo Haug. And again, through turns 2 and 3, Schollenberger's got the move done. He sweeps up the inside of the 507, neatly done. As it is, I've just seen Klaus Barnett and Konrad Bayer go side by side through the right-hand kink up the start-finish line. As the 555 of Stefan Krabau looks to have gotten in front of Andreas Frenzel. And that's for fifth on the road. But this time, I've just noticed the Marco Winkler is being closed in on by Dennis Thum. Looks like the 524 of Daniel Schultz is now going to be effectively classed as a retirement, but we've got 15 seconds on the clock to go. Now, Marco Winkler did a 1 minute 7.7, so must have had a couple of dramas on that last lap. And now is really being pressurized for the lead by the 544 of Dennis Thum. Daniel Schultz has parked the cart, unfortunately. So down to 8 competitors on the penultimate lap. Last lap board this time around will be shown to both Marco Winkler and Dennis Thum, with Thum getting to the widest line possible out onto the back section of the circuit. Through the chicane they come for the penultimate time. Now the run up to the double right-hander, and there goes Dennis Thum up the inside. Does he get the move done on Marco Winkler? He does, but then coming out of the final corner, Winkler will have the advantage in terms of the slipstream if he can keep it planted on all 4 wheels. But not the case this time. On to the final lap we go. Dennis Thum gets a lead of now what is 0.648 of a second on the final lap ahead of Marco Winkler. So Winkler now has to try and get a good run over the next couple of short straightaways. But Dennis Thum looks to have made the opportunity work for him. As Andreas Frenzel has lost out to Konrad Bayer for 6th position in the meantime. As leaders now coming through onto the back section of the circuit for the last time in their first out of 2 races here in Muelsen. But Dennis Thum having a good run there. And I think that Stefan Krabau has just lost out to Konrad Bayer in the process for position. And so 5th to 7th. Oh, now there was a bit of a bump over the curbs there by Stefan Krabau, but it's a win for Dennis Thum. Marco Winkler wins, secures 2nd position. A little bit of a frustration there, I think, for Daniel Schollenberger, but finishes very well in 3rd place. 4th comes the 507 of Timo Haug, and Konrad Bayer comes out of the final corner and will secure 5th place, having started on the front row of the grid, with Stefan Krabau and Andreas Frenzel rounding out the top 7 positions. Klaus Barnett will finish a lap off of the leaders in 8th place, but Daniel Schultz would retire on lap number 9, Daniel Yildiz on lap number 4, and Fabio Birkholz on the very first lap. But Dennis Thum wins by 2.679 seconds ahead of Marco Winkler.